When you're accustomed to privilege, equality feels like oppression. That, Mr. Speaker, is what is behind this bill. Its architect tells us that this is about equality, but we do not have equality in this country. Pick almost any statistic that you like. Housing, incarceration, health, life expectancy. Māori get unfair and unequal outcomes because of unfair and unequal treatment, which started with the Crown's intentional, violent actions to dishonour Te Tiriti o Waitangi. But, Mr. Speaker, this is not just about Māori. This is about all of us. Te Tiriti is why and how each of us are on this whenua. It tells us so much about who we are, how we got here, and where we go if we treat each other and our planet well, if we are good treaty partners. Capitalism. That is an economic system with the key priority to turn profit at almost any cost, needs colonisation. This insatiable, unsustainable economic system needs to assimilate and acquire new frontiers to exploit. It needs to turn every citizen into a consumer and to commodify our natural world. And right now, in this country, the biggest thing standing in its way is the resilience and the fire in the enduring movement for mana motuhake. Mr. Speaker, when Te Tiriti was signed, Māori outnumbered Pākehā 40-1. Can you imagine a small group of people coming to this country, signing an agreement to look after themselves in orderly cohabitation, then instead taking our land and our language? Well, that is the abridged history of Aotearoa New Zealand. That is what the British Crown did in establishing this Parliament and its institutions. The legacy of that violent oppression, theft and colonisation and the breach of Te Tiriti o Waitangi is represented in today's deeply unequal and unfair statistics. In people's lives, Mr. Speaker, Pākehā mā, tauiwi mā, we have been told for almost all of our lives that Māori sovereignty is something to be afraid of. Who has been telling you that? Who benefits and who pays the price? The discomfort that you feel, that I once felt, is an invitation to listen, to learn, to understand, and to honour. Te Tiriti o Waitangi is a gift. It is a blueprint of an Aotearoa that respects people and planet. It is the antidote to the exhaustion and the disenfranchisement that I know profoundly is felt in communities across this country right now. Now, some politicians will tell you that we just need a clean slate to the past. They will tell you that people today should not be held responsible for the actions of our forebears. So let's be really, really clear here. You do not need to be personally responsible for the historical dishonouring of Te Tiriti o Waitangi to actively benefit from that horrific legacy today. That is the truth. But this Parliament does benefit. All 123 members of this Parliament do benefit. The power in this place, in this Parliament, was built on a legacy of deceit, dehumanisation and domination. And today, all 123 members of Parliament will vote to either further entrench that utterly shameful legacy or to be honest and to do something about it. The Prime Minister has told us that there's nothing that he likes about this divisive bill. He's told us that the National Party don't support this bill. Mr. Speaker, any member of Parliament in this chamber right now can call for a personal vote on this bill to vote differently from their party, to put the country above partisan politics. A leader or a whip cannot stop MPs' constitutional right to vote how they know that they need to. Mr. Speaker, my question to MPs is, are you here to hold on to power at any cost? Or are you here to do the right thing? Are you here to listen to your conscience, or are you here to give it all up on one of the most significant votes in this House in our lifetimes? Because if you wear the mask for a little while, it becomes your face. We are what we do. If you vote for this bill, this is who you are, and this is how you will be remembered. Toitu te tiriti.
See you next Tuesday. Kia ora tātou. Te tiriti o Waitangi is superior to any person and any law ever created in this House. It is the constitutional document. By this House and democracy is established here in Aotearoa. This Parliament means nothing in Aotearoa without te tiriti o Waitangi. The only reason this Parliament exists in Aotearoa is because our tipuna consented to it. The only people who can make changes in an agreement are the parties who signed it. The King of England, me ngā rangatira o ngā hapu o Aotearoa. Now tell me, David Seymour, which one of those are you? Act are seen to be pulling the strings and running the country like the KKK with a swipe card to the beehive. And Luxon doesn't even care. There's a ghost in his chair. Everybody, every single one of the members sitting on that side of the House have enabled this bill to be introduced to the House. You are complicit in the harm and the division that this presents, and are complicit in the euthanizing of te tiriti o Waitangi. You have no right to touch something you have no mana over. Te tiriti o Waitangi sits above you. You have no right to make VIP decisions from the cheap seats. How dare you threaten our mokopuna? Te tiriti was an arrangement to unify. This bill serves to divide. Te iwi Māori don't expect this House to liberate us. We must be our own liberation. We've been talking about Pākehā honouring te tiriti o Waitangi, expecting solutions to come from the very House that attacks us every single day. So the real question we now need to ask ourselves at te iwi Māori is, when will we honour te tiriti o Waitangi? Article 1 gave consent to Pākehā to govern over themselves. They've assumed governance over us. When will we begin to assume governance ourselves? Te Pāti Māori is the only party committed to establishing our own whare rangatira. E aho. E aho. Our role as Te Pāti Māori is not to be a part of this system, but to create our own. What is the pathway forward for us at te iwi? Tino rangatiratanga and self-governance is the ultimate goal. But there are steps we must take to get there. First, we need to do what we need to do to get rid of this government. This must be a one-term government. How do we do that? E te iwi Māori. We must all register on the Māori roll. E oho. Everybody must register on the Māori roll if you are Māori, if you have Māori whakapapa. That is the goal. In order to make this a one-term government, we need more Māori voices in this House. We need more Māori independent seats in this House. That is how we do it. Everybody on the Māori roll, if you're a Māori, get on the Māori roll. Talk to your pakeke. Ko rātou ngā mea kei te raru. The rangatahi are migrating. They are registering on the Māori roll. That must be our goal. E taku iwi Māori, 35,000 people marched yesterday across that bridge. And they will arrive here in Parliament. And one message to you, David, is...
First, a party vote's been called for.
Mr. Speaker.
A party vote has been called for. There's a process here.
New Zealand National.
49 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
34 votes opposed.
Green Party of Aotearoa New Zealand.
15 votes opposed.
ACT New Zealand.
11 votes in favour.
New Zealand First.
8 votes in favour.
Te Pāti Māori.
E ono ngā pōti if
6 votes opposed.
No, don't
everything Hannah Rawiti Clark just did in Parliament, in New Zealand, the Haka, everything she just did is more than the Haka. The ancestors came through. That she is an example of what is to come here on this plane, in this world. This signifies the rise of the matriarchy, the rise of the divine feminine, the fall of the patriarchy, the fall of the system, the fall of the government. This signifies so much, and it is what so many people needed to see at this time. What does that strike in you? Because I know for me, it makes me not feel like I can just sit around and be complicit. And even more so that I can't just be posting TikTok, that I have to do even more than that. And I should have been doing more. We all should have been. It takes time for people to wake up, but come on, guys, like, we cannot be complicit in this anymore. That's a great example of what's to come, and a great example of these people who in their territory, their indigenous, that is their land, right? Just as the Native Americans, this is their land. This is the land of the indigenous peoples that whoever's these people are took the land, whoever they really are, behind all the corruption, behind these elites, right? Those people in New Zealand, the Maori people, they have a lot of control there still. It's not like that in other places, right? So the whole reason this happened, you guys already know probably why it happened. They're trying to get at them, right? We're here in the United States. We're scared to do anything because we don't either want to take the risk, we don't want to be unalived, we don't want to take that risk, right? Because there's not enough people doing it. We've been complacent here too long. Look how they've treated the different races and groups of people here. We don't want to go to jail. We don't want to do this and that, right? It has to start somewhere. It has to start through the voice. Look what she just did. Through the voice. They try to suppress our voices, guys. Through the voice. They programmed us and conditioned us so deep that it's absolutely traumatizing, that we can't even fathom how traumatizing it actually is. It is gross what they are doing to us and have been doing to us. The shipping containers are just coming out now. It's been going on for years, and people are finally seeing it. Great. It's been going on. We need to actually attribute things and go in and integrate ourselves into this system so that we can break the system from the inside out. It's time to get on that train. It's been time.